right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special segment in the Data Garden course. Today we have a special guest who is going to take us through a creative coding tutorial. So her name's Ivy. She's a new friend of the Data Garden Club, a new member in our community. We're very excited to have her. Ivy is an illustrator based in Taipei. We're going to just sit and chat with her a little bit, and she's going to take us through one of her projects that she did using p5.js. And so, hi, Ivy.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. It's super great to see a new face to add to our, obviously, to our course. But yeah, why don't you go ahead and tell us a bit about yourself? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Ivy. I graduated from UC Santa Cruz, which is a college based in like Northern California, back in 2021, which is last year. And I would consider myself as like a product designer and a 3D illustrator who also dabbles in creative coding and also like front end development. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's super cool. And if you guys can find her somewhere on Instagram, we're going to leave her links and everything down below. But the work that Ivy does is super cool. So, what got you into creative coding in the first place?
Yeah, I think I got into creative coding through like this. It was mostly through like this course I found online, like back in like December 2020. I think it was like, I think I just like saw it on YouTube. It was like advertising for like this like comprehensive course in p5.js. But like the thing was that like the entirety of the course was like recorded in like Mandarin. So then, yeah, so I had to like just like, it was on like this Taiwanese platform. So yeah, I was able to like buy the course and then just like go through it. I think it was like somewhere around like 20 plus hours. So I thought it was like a really comprehensive like introduction to like just like creative coding, generative art. And then also like touch a little bit on like data visualization through p5.js. So yeah, that's where I like got into like making like little postcards and like generative posters for like decors and like my work study room, and also just to give them out to friends.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well, that's a good segue to my next question. We're gonna go ahead because we know that you're gonna do a tutorial for us in this video. So yeah, talk about what tutorial or exercise will you be taking us through today?
Yeah, this was like a project that I did back in like December of last year. So I wanted to create like a bunch of like patterns for like just like the Christmas holiday season. So I kind of just like use like the blend mode mostly like in p5.js to create like the overlap layers and colors to create like the Christmas wreath pattern. Yeah. So I'll be taking you guys through that tutorial in the next segment.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Cool. Well, can't wait to see it. How exciting. And I love that you're on theme too, by the way. It's like Christmas cards and you have like a Christmas sweater on. So yeah, cool. We're gonna jump straight into your tutorial. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Hi. So we're gonna be going over this holiday themed Christmas inspired postcard design or pattern design that we have of 3 different Christmas wreaths. So in a nutshell, this is around 70 lines of code, which is not that many, and it will be using concepts such as for loop, translate, modulo, push and pop, and unconditional if-else statements. And most importantly, we will be using blend mode, which is this method that p5.js has that gives you this overlay transparent effect so that the colors of the rings are kind of just like overlaid transparently on top of one another. So first of all, we'll be using the function setup like every other creative coding project with p5.js. You will need to set up your canvas with a specified size. So for this project, we'll be using 1000 pixels by 600, which I think is a good enough resolution if you want to print out the design on a 6x4 postcard. So next we will be using function draw, which we will first need to define the background color, which I chose here to be white, so this code right here. And then we will need to move start the drawing to the middle of the screen or the middle of the canvas, which I have calculated to be height divided by 2. And then for this first string, we will be using width divided by 4 minus 100. And then for the first reef here, or like the first ring, we will be using the for loop wrap around the push and pop methods. So like every other for loop out there, we will be starting out with that I is equal to 0, and then I is less than 10, or whichever number you want to put for the number of rings that you have around the wreath. And then I plus plus for adding each circle one by one. So then we will be using blend mode. They have different parameters, but I chose the multiply ones to put in here because it looks the best in my opinion, but you can play around with any other parameters that they have, such as add, subtract, string, or some other ones that you can find on the p5.js documentation. And then in order to move each circle's location around the entire wreath, or like the entire circle, to give it the circular effect, you would need to rotate each of the circle by 120 degrees. And then the stroke weight would be 10. And then moving on, we will be moving on to the if-else statements. So depending on the index of the circle, if it's divisible by 2, divisible by 2, then the stroke would be the certain color, which I'm not too sure what this color is, but it's one of the 3 colors that we have here. And this ellipse would be like the size of the ellipse. And then if it's cleanly divisible by 3, then we have the certain color right here. And then for everything else that doesn't fit into these 2 conditions, it would have this color here. So moving on to the second wreath, it pretty much has like the same exact concepts, except it has a different translation here in order to move it to the middle of the string. And then let's see what else is different. The stroke weight is different, which is a lot thicker than the one that we had before. And then moving on to the third wreath right here, we also have a different translation that I have calculated, but I don't quite remember how I calculated it. And then for this one, you have no stroke because you just want the fill colors of the circles, which I also had changed and specify here. Yeah, so this is a pretty simple, straightforward tutorial, and I hope you will have fun remixing it. Do let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the tutorial, and I can't wait to see what you make.
All right, that was amazing. Thanks so much, Ivy, for taking us through that tutorial. I hope you guys had fun. So last thing is, where can we find you, Ivy? Like, where can we see your work, etc.? Share it with us.
Yeah, I mostly put my 3D illustration or like 2D animation work on my Instagram, which is wonderbar.studio. And then I have my creative coding stuff on my open processing account, which you can find in the description box below.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Well, be sure to check that out, you guys. Again, description box below. And Ivy is also part of our Discord community, so if you ever want to say hi to her directly, you can send her a DM, or you can say hi to her on Discord, and I'm sure that she'll be happy to answer any of your questions, or even say hi to some of you guys, and so that would be awesome. And yeah, thanks so much, Ivy, for your time and for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching. Hope you enjoyed this session, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.